Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
Yes!
Dad, I'm hungry.
This is cool. Everyone gets a room key. And their wristbands. G'day humans, Chris Stead here. I'm on the road and today I'm at Club Med in Bintan Island, Indonesia. This is the entranceway in front of me, or behind me. It's a bit of paradise here, I've got to say. I'm going to take you on a pretty exhaustive tour of everything that this place has to offer. And it's a bit sprawling, so it might take a little bit. Just show you everything that you can expect and take you to my room, show you the room. And yeah, get you basically up to speed on everything that this place offers in case you're considering staying here, because I'm telling you now, it's pretty damn awesome, mind-blowing even. But it also costs a pretty penny, so you really got to make this investment wisely. Make sure it's going to deliver exactly what you want. So yeah, as usual with my reviews, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you've seen a few of my reviews, you'll know I like to start at the front and give you a bit of a tour of the location. So let's jump straight into that. There's not a hell of a lot to see out here. All the fun's in that door. So this is the entranceway in to Club Med Bintan Island. Now you will most likely get here via ferry from Singapore. Now we came in on a late ferry. There's actually, despite the fact that they're kind of like right next to each other, there's an hour difference in time between Indonesia and Singapore. So you pretty much get here at the same time you leave. But it's an hour ferry. And then you get in the car, then we got picked up by a private car that then took us here. Now the turn off from the main road is a long way down there, and then you're just driving through jungle, and it was dark at the time, and there was just no lights anywhere. So it just kind of gave you this feeling that you're really heading out to somewhere that's remote. Like if you go to other parts of Indonesia, for example Bali, there's no end to the lights and sounds and traffic and everything here. You're in the middle of nowhere, and this is proper jungle. Like there's monkeys and everything hanging out in here. It also means that it's pretty hard to get anywhere, and I don't have very many criticisms of Club Med Bintan. It's really been awesome. But if there's something they could definitely look at doing, it's putting on a shuttle bus to the town. So there is a Bintan town, a main town, which is about an hour away. And the only way to get there is to either do an excursion, and there's like 7 or 8 different excursions you can do. Like you can go fishing, you can go to the mangroves, you can go into the town, all this type of stuff. But they say they're a nominal fee, but they're really expensive. I think I looked up taking my boy fishing. It's going to be about $400 Australian for half a day. Or you can hire a car. There are only 2 ways to get to town from here. Grab's not going to come pick you up. There's no people around selling mopeds or renting mopeds or bikes. So a shuttle bus would be nice, just for those who are here for an extended period and want to go visit the town one day. I'd like to see a shuttle bus, but anyway, you don't really need to leave at all. That's kind of one of the things. This is the first time I've even walked out here since I got here. So it's got a really interesting layout. I like the way that you're pretty much just straight into the action here. So here's your lobby area. There's a big golf course right next door, but they also have kind of just like putt and a driving range here that you can just use. And there you go, straight out to the pool, and what a shot that is. And I'll take it down now, obviously. And just stacks going on. So this is a very kid-friendly resort, very kid-focused. I'll give you a quick look at it this way. It's all spread out, so it's beach facing basically. So I dare say that the vast majority of rooms have ocean views. All the front ones have full ocean views. Maybe some of these ones back at the back here might have more glimpses. But you can see it's kind of like this big semi-circle that goes right around there. So everyone's kind of got a really good view. There's a bar up here, and another bar down the beach down there, and another bar under there. Now it's all inclusive, so that's part of what you're paying for. Here's your excursions desk, by the way. There's a little library up here as well. Mystical mangrove tour. And then all the way up the back there's a sports centre, so I'll take you up there later. It's really cool. Now, where to start? Let's start with the staff, because they're fantastic. And you know, I've heard the saying many times before, the staff makes the experience. And 95% of the time, you know, you go to places like this, or you go to hotels or whatever, and the staff are fine, they're great, but you know, they're checking you in, they're checking you out, and that's pretty much, you know, other than that, they're just kind of serving you. This is not the approach they take here at Club Med, and I'd never been to a Club Med before in my life, and didn't know too much about it before I got here. But the way that they do the staff, at least at Bintan one, it's just really awesome. So they're all up for a chat. Everyone's smiling, everyone's happy, everyone seems to be having a really good time. But they're all happy to talk to you, and not only that, they're always hanging out. So, you know, like we'd had a game of beach soccer, and like half of it was staff, and then we had a game of volleyball, and some of the staff rocked up and played with us and the kids. And you know, they have these big shows and parties each night, and at the end of it you go to the bar and have a drink, and the staff are there hanging out at the bar, and you get to have a chat to them, and they're in the restaurant eating. Like, it's just, they're like almost like other guests, but they're also just really like professional as well. And I really love this approach, really love it. So down here you got the main dining hall, and there's constantly food available. So there's two restaurants and they kind of overlap. There's this one, which is the main one, which is where the guts of it all is. There's another one by the beach, which has like a much smaller menu, should you want to eat in the off time. So, you know, you've got breakfast from, I think it's 7 to 10, but if you want to eat breakfast after 10, you can go to the other restaurant and you can still have breakfast. Honestly, it would take me 30 minutes to take you through all the different food that's been served. It's been phenomenal. The food has been delicious. Breakfast is probably the weakest point. It's a really good breakfast and really diverse with lots of options. But it's kind of like the same thing every day, and you know, it's all kind of what you'd expect. You know, fruit salads, bowls of cereal, eggs, amazing omelettes. But it's probably the most generic, and it's been really harsh on it. But then the lunches, and in particular the dinners, have just been extraordinary. Like different every day, different options, chef specials every single day, and they've been absolutely delicious and just really premium. You know, like crayfish and slow cooked beef briskets and sashimi plates, and you know, they've got a Japanese section, an Indian section, an Indonesian section. I love they put little menus up that kind of talk you through what the specialty dish is. So it's been good just being able to go, oh, okay, this is a specialty Indonesian dish. Okay, I'll try that. I'm in Indonesia. down here you've got this bar here, and then you've got like food always kind of really set up here. They change it around. Sometimes there's barbecue stuff, sometimes there's dim sum, sometimes there's chips and stuff. The kids, I'll show you, it's so cool. They've got this little step up for the kids at the bar. So the kids can order mocktails, drinks, whatever they want. It's all inclusive. There's premium spirits and in particular premium wines. I think there's only like a rosé, a white and a red that you can get as part of the inclusive. And everything else costs, you can spend to get better. So you see this little step up here, it's so cool. We've got a full kids menu of drinks that they can order, which is awesome. And they've got a cocktail list, which is reasonably short, but anything I've asked for, they've made. So I've woken up, had a Bloody Mary, for example, they just made it. I asked for a Long Island iced tea, they just made it. I had a White Russian last night, they made it. It wasn't on the list, but they still just made whatever I asked for. Now there's endless activities. I don't know if you can see that, it's probably reflecting too much. That's yoga today, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different yogas. Sports, tournaments. They break it up into beginner, advanced and intermediate, and then they have family time. There's pretty much been non-stop. There's an app that you can download which is could be optimised a bit more. It kind of struggles a little bit under the weight of use, but basically there's just endless things to do, and the kids have been just having an absolute ball. It's been easy for us to get involved, and they've done a pretty good job breaking it up so that it's not like swarmed by ages. Morning. Here's kind of the teens room. You can see over here the pool tables get a lot of use. There's my son over there actually. He's been pretty much living on these pool tables. He loves it. Chess. It's been quite easy for the kids to make friends. As an Australian coming over here, obviously the main clientele I think is from Singapore, because Singapore's literally just across the road basically. And they all speak a good English, the Singaporeans, so even though it's a predominantly non-white clientele, the language is predominantly English. And they're doing some pretty cool stuff for the Australians actually. They were telling us that they've lined up all the ferries, so that the ferries and the will line up with the major flights from Australia. So it looks like they're doing a bit of work in there. I really want to show you what's in there. Yeah, so basically the main flights that come in from the major cities in Australia will now be timed with the ferries to get you here, so you're not kind of hanging out in the ferry depot, which is what happened to us actually for about 4 hours. That was because we came from Phuket. So nice deep pool, big pool. I don't know how full we are at the moment, but there hasn't been a problem getting seats. There's obviously plenty down at the beach as well. We've had some pretty bad weather, but because so much of the activities can be done inside, it hasn't really affected us. So yesterday it rained really hard, like Southeast Asian rain style, for the first 6 hours of the day, but there was still just endless activities to do inside, and a lot of the sports stuff's inside as well. So there's a whole second pool down there. It's 1.7 metres deep, which is really good. There's shallow areas. They had water polo set up in here, and they had a huge show out here one night. Put a stage out and had a big show, and people on trapezes and stuff. It was excellent. And I'll just show you in here, because they've got a theatre in here, and there's been a show on each night. So I said we've been here 3 nights now. The first night it was out here, and the second 2 nights it was in here in the theatre. They got this little theatre in here. It doesn't look like much. It's got really good sound, really good light. The seating's been fine. Like, there hasn't been a struggle to get a seat. But the shows are all done by the staff. So they don't have like a show team. It's literally like the main dancer. She's absolutely amazing. I don't know what her name is. She should be in Hollywood or something. She's fantastic. She's also the sports instructor, and you know, like the guy who did our golf lesson was on there, and I recognise almost all the staff. basically from the activities they've been doing, or from behind the bar, or you know, running the DJ booth or in the kids club and everything like that, and they come out here and they do these shows, and they're not professional showmen, but they're just crazy talented young people who and it's all done kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's just done with so much fun and with such joy that it's just been great. I've really enjoyed it. The kids have really enjoyed it. It's all ages, perfect. Sounds great, and it's choreographed really well, and they do a really, really good job. And then when it ends, on each 3 nights, once this is kind of, the show's ended, they come up and just G everyone up and walk them out, and they've set up a party area somewhere. And once I was on the beach, last night it was over in a section over here, and then just basically just all the staff are there, and they're just kind of like getting everyone to jump around and dance and just have this. It's just a great way of doing it. That was a guy who was doing his golf with us yesterday, and he was starring in a show last night. Yeah, and I just blown away by the staff, and just blown away by the spectacle and the way that they kind of just get everyone to come together and have a great time. You'd have to be the Grinch not to have a good time, honestly. And last night, the night beforehand, we played beach volleyball and kicked soccer like at dusk all around. Last night they set up a little casino inside, and they had blackjack and poker, but it was all like, there was no buy-in. It was just chips. You know, they just gave people chips, just for fun. But you know, the kids were involved, so my kids were able to sit down and play some poker, which they, you know, which was a bit of a special thing for them, and they loved it. It very much reminds me of a cruise, or at least the Royal Caribbean cruises, which are the ones I've done. So actually some fun waves starting to come in. Sorry, I get distracted by waves very easily. Yeah, it reminds me of the Royal Caribbean cruises, in that it's kind of like, it's all inclusive. You've got all this great food, all this great entertainment, all these great activities. The kids feel it's a safe environment. So that's kind of like, it's like Club Med's kind of like a cruise on the ground. That's kind of the impression that I got. Now I'll take you over here. Sorry, it's going to be a bit of walking. So they do bocce and stuff on this little piece here of turf. The other side's got mostly all the sports stuff. And you can see all the rooms up here. So I'll show you our room. We do have one of these rooms that's over there. And yeah, they're great rooms. I'll save the room review till we're in the room. But as you can see, it's pretty spacious. So there are buildings behind these buildings. There's like 2 rows of these buildings. So I guess the second row is probably the lesser expensive rooms. And behind here, you've kind of got some inward facing ones, which are a bit more like balcony-less. I don't know if they're staff quarters or if they're just, you know, for guests who don't have the money to upgrade to these kind of big balcony front facing ones. But you can see there's the whole building up there. There's only the 4 rooms. And then there's 6 on this level, so they're quite spacious. And ample space. Should break out some cricket. Now up there is that little restaurant I was telling you about. So that's the kind of the secondary restaurant. We haven't had a need to go up there, but that's kind of like, they will serve food in the off hours till really late, like 11 o'clock at night. So you can go up there and get a feed, and it looks out over the whole beach. It's beautiful. Down behind there is the spa. It's a bit of a hike, so I'm not going to take you down there. I haven't been able to use the spa, unfortunately. It's out of our price range. So you're looking at probably, they had a promotion going where you could do one for $150 Australian or Singapore dollars. So a bit more than 150 Australian. But it was for 90 minutes, to be fair. And you got a whole bunch of oils and stuff with it. But we're just been, you know, coming through Asia, so we've been getting like $10 massages. So it just blows us away, 150. But most of the big packages are like $250 up to $300 there. But there's these private buildings that kind of look out over the ocean on the other side. So it's a pretty special location. I'll grant them that. And then down here you got this hut where a lot of yoga stuff's been going on. So they have yoga all day, pretty much. This is aerial yoga they've got going on at the moment. Which is, I can see my wife there. Good on her. That's where she is. I don't think my body can do aerial yoga. Maybe if I did more aerial yoga, I could. So I'll show you down the beach. So being an Australian, when it comes to beaches, I'm already pretty lucky. Australia has phenomenal beaches. And usually you see these fantastic, beautiful, tropical locations all around the world, and the beaches look amazing, and you get here and they're not. They're filled with shells, the water's brown and polluted, and then they never look as amazing as they do in the photos. Here, not the case. This is a beach that an Australian would be proud of. Really nice soft sand, whitish yellow sand the whole entire way. Now this is a whole private beach basically. So you've got that headland down there, there's a golf course on the other side of that, and then you got this, and this is right on the spit, and then it goes around there to jungle basically. So you're completely alone up here, and the tide's a little bit low at the moment, but it goes lower than this, so you can kind of walk out to the rocks and everything like that. And you can see this is where we've been playing the beach volleyball. There's another net the other side. But the sand's really nice and soft. There's no rocks or seaweed or anything out there. In fact, they were saying there's not much in the way of fish off here because it's just basically a sandy bottom. For those of you who surf, it's been kind of a bit small, but been in really good shape. It's got a really nice little beachy here, but they've got no bloody boards. I'll talk about that in a little bit in a sec. I'll go down here, I'll show you the water sports area. But I'm hoping it's coming through on the camera, despite the ominous looking clouds, just how beautiful this beach is. And really, well, while we've been here anyway, the conditions for the kids have been perfect. They're pretty hardcore. You know, like it was like this yesterday, which is like what, half a foot surf. And you know, the kids were going out, they wanted to kayak or something like that, and the guards were like, oh no, it's really dangerous out there. And you're like, no, it's not. For an Australian, that's like chalk and cheese, that's like nipper stuff. You run the 6 nippers out in that. But obviously not everyone is an Australian, so I can understand why they're so cautious. There's a lot of people who don't know how to swim very well, who don't understand rips and who don't understand waves, so I get it. That's just something to be mindful of as an Australian getting here. You might have been told a few times, hey, don't go swimming out there, it's dangerous, and you'd be like, what? I'm sure there's currents and stuff in there that I don't know about because I've only just got here, but yeah, you need a bit more water moving than that to have any decent currents. Right, so down here you've got the water sports. So paddleboarding, windsurfing, kayaking, and the catamarans are all included as part of the inclusive stuff. We went for a sail on the first day. It was awesome. There's actually, you can probably see from the trees, there's no wind at the moment. We're just kind of waiting for some wind so we can go sailing again, but that was really awesome, splashing out through the waves and then sailing around the back. The kids kayaked all day yesterday. We haven't had a chance to windsurf because of the lack of wind, but we're waiting for it. We're keen, and yeah, it's all been pretty good. Down here at the water sports section, the only thing I got a grief with is there's a second hut which has got a bunch of other stuff in it, like they got jet skis, and I saw wakeboarding boards and things like that in the shed, and it's run by some other company. So it's weird, this whole private beach and this whole private island like this, and then they got the one hut over here which has, you know, some good equipment in it, but it's not run by them, so they charge you for it. And that included the bodyboards, and I was like, oh well, you know, yesterday there was some fun little barrels coming in here, and I was like, oh well, I'll grab one. I saw a guy out there on a bodyboard, and I was like, I'm gonna grab a bodyboard, see if I can nab a few hits, and then I went up to get it, and they're like, no, you gotta rent that. And I went, oh, okay. And I went and had a look at it, and honestly, it was about 7 times, the boards were in a worse shape than what you'd get on a council clean-up in Australia. Like, they were shocking. Like, I was like, you can't rent this out. You know, and considering the conditions here and how few of the guests here would be used to being in the beach, why they just don't have 20 $10 bodyboards just sitting up here that the kids can go out and just catch some waves with. I don't know. That's a real missed opportunity. Yeah, I don't know. No. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the very few things that I would say about Club Med they got wrong. You got this great beach and let the kids catch some waves for the sake of the. It's not like they're a big investment. I can understand the jet skis, but the jet skis were $80 for 15 minutes, by the way. So we got life vests out there for all the kids, got almost all sizes, which is good. They were willing to let me take the cat out by myself, but I actually got the guy to come with me because it had been about 30 years since I'd done it. And we had to bash it away. And mostly because the kids were like, "You haven't done it for so long, Dad, you gotta bring in, you gotta let the man do it." I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll come up here, so you can see a couple of people practicing putt-putt. So like I said, they've got kind of schedule things during the day so that everyone gets a go basically. And in this free time you can just come. Here's this little hut. Yeah, so there's non-Club Med stuff in here. Snorkeling stuff is in here. Fishing gear. Yeah, just a bummer. Anyway. Guess you can't have it all. And then down here you've got this driving range, which I've used quite a few times. So just come down here, they've got instructors that'll give you tips. There's old mate here in the yellow jersey. I think his name's Richard. He's been great, offering to kids lots of plenty of tips, been very patient, and also starred in the show last night. They're pretty good with the toilets as well. There's lots of toilets around, so you don't have to kind of always be marching back to your room. And over here, you can see more accommodation. So I was going to house a fair few people. It doesn't feel like there's that many people here. I haven't felt like, I don't know, maybe it's not very close to capacity, maybe it is and it just hides it well, but it definitely hasn't felt crowded. And yeah, so you can see two layers back there. Now, for the sake of time, I will now jump off and then take you forward to the sports centre, but because it's going to take me about 10 minutes to walk up there. In fact, it's just worth mentioning, one of the things that they do have a lot of here is stairs. And if my back was really sore the first day we got here, and walking upstairs is something that lower backs just don't like. It's like it's a lot of pressure on the lower back when you walk upstairs. And I really started to notice, like, far out, there's a lot of steps. And even to get from up in our room to the restaurant, you kind of got to go up some steps and down some steps and around some hallways and down some more steps and up some more steps. It's really convoluted. There's only 2 lifts in the entire building and they're right up at the front. So that's something I think to take into note. If you've got any mobility issues, you may just want to make sure that you get a room that's going to suit you. So maybe something down here on the ground level, so you can just come out in the pathway. Because these ones here don't, but these ones around the corner have like just access straight down to the pathway. That might be a way to think if you have some mobility issues. Oh, I walked straight past the giant trapeze thing without bringing it up. So we've got this trapeze out the front here, and it's really, really awesome. The kids have actually been loving it. It's been open multiple times during the day and even during the night. Only grief with it is they've got these big spotlights on it, but they don't turn off at night. So kind of stops you from just being able to sit on your balcony up here and just kind of look out at the ocean, because there's giant spotlights on the trapeze all night for some reason. And hardly a big complaint, but it's unnecessary. But very cool, very cool. I do! Alright, let's go look at the sports centre. Righto, so if you walk about 100 steps from our room, you get all the way back up here to the sports complex. Now, yes, a couple of big squash courts over here. Sport desk here's got everything that you need. Rackets, balls, and so forth. Yeah, look, the benefit of it being all the way up here is you can't hear it. There's no bouncing basketballs, kicking soccer balls or anything like that. So I think that's well worth having it so far away. It's kind of difficult to get to, like with a stroller, for example. But I guess if you come up here to do sport, then you're probably pretty mobile. So you got the gym up here. Nice and cool in here. And ample sized. Plenty of equipment, plenty of weights. Nice outlook over the ocean down there as well. And then there's a kind of Zumba classes they've been doing, and now I think maybe that's where they do a lot of the practice for the shows that they do, the stuff as well. But stretch bars, and I've seen kind of courses going on in here. So it's like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning right now. So I think most people have just stuffed themselves and are on the beach. Now, this is pretty cool. I'll show you the map. Right, so where we were before is down here. That's where I kind of turned it off. And this is the sports centre up here, so you can see it's all uphill, stairs and everything like that. I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of the sprawling complex. Usually I'd get a nice big awesome drone shot for you, but my drone malfunctioned and threw itself into the water a couple of weeks ago, so sorry about that. But you can see that's kind of that peninsula where the spa is. There's that restaurant. And there's this kind of main complex through here. That's where the golf, everything, and the water sports down here. So you can see it's all kind of like miles away from Manini. Yeah, mate, how are you? Right, so here's that sports centre. And actually that's a good example. That's that bloke we just went past then. He's one of the staff here, and he looks after tennis. And he just came up to me the first night. I was hanging out at the bar, just having a drink, and he came up and had a big chat to me and chatted about an hour, talking about music, sharing some Spotify playlists. Played him with table tennis last night. He spanked me. It's disappointing. Consider myself pretty gun at table tennis, but yeah, he had me. Home ground advantage, that's what I'm calling it. So we got basketball out here, soccer courts. They're doing a bit of work out here at the moment, as you can probably hear. I know what they're doing. We got 4 tennis courts, I think, at the back here. I'm not sure how we're going to tennis today, actually. Little soccer field. It's even got like stadium, little tournaments they host. So it's, yeah, I think it's great that they've got this complex. It's awesome, but it's also great that it's kind of away, even though it's a bit hard to get to. You just don't have to hear any of the action and the kids. There's heaps of stuff up here. And as you can see, like obviously that's pretty open out there, but down here and in the squash courts and the gym and everything, it's all pretty secluded from the weather. There's another basketball court in here, full size. Got the rock climbing over there, and the badminton is obviously a big sport in Asia. And there's the kids club guys down here. Oh, so I should have mentioned the kids club. So the kids club's been pretty awesome. They just basically, you turn up at 9, the kids can turn up at 9:30 in the morning, and you basically don't have to be involved at all. You don't even have to go and sign them in. They just turn up there, and that's the last thing you see them. If you don't want to see them for the rest of the day, they'll go and do stuff until they get hungry, then they'll go sit down at lunch. They've got tables reserved for the resort for the kids club, so they've always got a table there. And they've got a mini club and a max club. The cut-off's pretty interesting. I think they've got a 8s and unders and 8 to 10, and they've also got a 11 to 17 really, but I don't think any 17-year-olds are going to be there. Just left my daughter in a little bit of limbo. She's like 10 and a half and way too mature for 8-year-olds, but probably not quite there yet when it comes to the 13, 14-year-olds. So yeah, that left her in a bit of limbo, but what do you do? It's just a bit of bad luck really. And this is, I just want to show you down here, the archery. This has been lots of fun as well. Again, good instruction. Nicely done with the way that they kind of protect everyone. One of the courses about to start now, so again, beginner, intermediate, advanced. They can obviously move the targets around. Good quality bows. Oh, look at that, up there as well. Them. You see all the monkeys? So one of the things they say here is don't leave your sliding doors open. And the monkeys will get you. They'll get your stuff. Heaps of them in there. All right, that's the sports centre. Let's go take a look at the room. Okay, so here we are at the rooms. Now we're at a block called Lontar, which I think they also call Block L, and we've got the connecting sea view room. So this is 1332, and we've also got 1331. There's only 2 other rooms on this entire floor. Only 4 of us across the entire thing. This is the top room as well, so I can't comment to any noise coming from down anyone above, but the rooms are really quiet. Now we don't get cards here. You get a wristband when you get here, purple meaning adult, so you can get booze, and then the kids have yellow ones. This is really cool. So it just locks. You just tap it here, and she opens. But the other cool thing is it means all 5 of us have a card, so they can just go in and out, and you don't have to have it slotted in to make the electricity work, that type of thing. So really comfortable rooms, really quiet, and quite spacious. So if you have a look over here behind you, got a separate toilet in both the rooms. Now, seems like a small thing, really important, especially when you're a big family, but also just in Southeast Asia, sometimes someone needs to spend a lot of time on the toilet. In here we've got a bathroom, really nicely done. Pump packs with conditioner, so most of many hotels don't have conditioners, has conditioner as well as shampoo. Fantastic shower, great pressure, great temperature, really, really good. All the basic amenities are really, really good. Very, very cool. You can drink the water out of the tap. Very unusual, and it's the first we've encountered on this trip. We're on day 55 of the current trip we're doing. And I think that's the first time we've been able to drink out of the tap, which makes a difference. It means you can just fill up your water bottles as well, so you don't have to go through heaps of water bottles, although they still provide you with heaps of water bottles. Now through to, I guess, more the living space. Big, nice, comfortable king-size bed, really, really comfortable. On the firmer side, but not uncomfortably firm. Pillows are really, really luxe, but it can be a very, very soft one and a pretty hard one. They don't have a medium one, but it's just, like, it's so individual. It might be fine for you. It's fine for me. Power points, good selection, including USB ports directly into the wall, which is very, very, very handy. And as you can see over here, we've used for storage in this room, just this space here, but there's also the cupboards and hanging space as well. Plenty of hanging space in the bathroom, and another big table here, which has been good to do a little bit of work on. TV has average reception, but some decent channels, decent selection of channels, quite a few English speaking channels, which is handy. To be honest, I haven't used it once. I've just flicked through it, so I can basically tell you that. There's so much to do here. Watching TVs just hasn't been a concern. The kids did watch a little bit of one movie one night, but they also back over in the center, like the Super Mario movie was on the big screen, just on during the day the other day, so that's an option as well. Now out here you've got, this got me last time. There you go. A private balcony. Both rooms have a private balcony that looks out onto one of the best beaches you'll ever come across in the world. And all of these front blocks all the way around just have nothing in front of you really. As I mentioned before, the only thing that's a bit weird is that they leave the spotlights on all night on a trapeze. So I don't know why they do that. It's a bit of a shame, but hard to complain when that's your outlook on the world. And you've got to keep these doors closed because otherwise the monkeys come in and steal all your stuff, we're told. And I've seen the monkeys. I haven't seen them go in, but I've seen the monkeys. I've seen them climb on the roof. All right, so we've got the connecting room, and that comes through into here where we've got 3 beds set up for the kids. Ample space for the 3 of them, 3 separate beds. The bed that they've set up is really good quality, comfortable. It's not some, nasty little pull out. And again, they've got a balcony out here as well. And otherwise, it's pretty much a mirror image. So if we go through here, you're looking at same storage space, same bathroom layout, and same extra toilet. Like I said, it's really good that everyone's got their own key card so the kids can get in, nice and easy. And Wi-Fi has been It's not spectacularly fast, but it's been consistently okay. I haven't had a problem with it not connecting, but the speeds aren't that great. I did see that there seems to be a premium option, so you can upgrade to a higher speed class if you need it, but I haven't needed it. It's been okay. So that's a look at the room, and in general, I just wanted to wrap up my thoughts on Club Med Bintan. I didn't have any expectations going into this, and I really didn't know what to expect, and I'm blown away. It's been a really, really good experience. Not only has it been just comfortable and relaxing, the kids have been so well catered for, the food has been exceptional, the drinks have flowed freely, and whatever I could think of, they've made happily. The staff have also been just really accommodating in the fact that the kids are kids. So there's been little incidents here and there, broken glass, things like that, and just kids are the kids, you know, there's been none of that kind of, no one's on your shoulders. There's just so many activities and just so much to do, and the temperature's so nice. The water temperature is probably 26 degrees, I reckon. It's just so nice out there. So there's so little to complain about other than the fact that it's an investment. So, you know, I can see the value in this kind of experience because it's done so well. You know, like you really feel like you've been just grabbed and held and given a holiday experience without having to do anything on your part. It's just all there for you, and you pay a bit more for that, for this private beach, for this quality of experience, for this quality of food and everything like that. So if you're umming and ahhing about whether or not, if you're thinking, yeah, I'm willing to spend that little bit extra to try and get that Club Med experience, all I can say is that Club Med, at least at the Bintan place, delivers. And I think that if you're there, you will get your value for your money. If it's a big stretch for you, then, you know, there are a lot of options out there that you can go for. But yeah, I can see why people want this experience, because it's been really cool, and I do hope I get to do more Club Meds in the future and compare them and see if they all stack up like this one. All right, those are my thoughts. I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out the other reviews on the channel, and until next time, back on the road. You.